it's a perfect way to just slow down. And like I said, gravel and bikepacking has always been party pacing for me anyway. So, and then to be able to like stop at that perfect place and just enjoy that place and that like longer. And I don't know, it because riding a bike is partially about being in nature anyway. So for me, at least it is, and enjoying myself outdoors and having some like rest and fresh air, and not a lot of people around with COVID. And then, you know, to be able to stop anywhere you want and bring your own coffee, and also have that little moment that it's not like a can of Coke that you just like pop open and drink and be on the go. It's like a little Zen moment that you have to stop for. You have to pack it all. You know how it works with bikepacking back. All the stuff's always in the back. You have to take it all out. Yeah. You have to, you know, you're gonna have to find a nice tree, and a fallen over tree somewhere to sit on. And it's more than just drinking coffee or eating soup in nature.
I've been seeing a lot on your Instagram lately about day packing, and I got really excited about it. So I was like, this looks great. Is that something that's been born out of a Dutch lockdown, or is it a winter thing, or is it something you've been doing for years?
I think a little bit of both. I've been doing it, but I've been doing it more nowadays. And probably due to COVID as well, because I don't know, I'm always a party pacer. I've always been, especially on gravel and on bikepacking as well. And well, you know, like no other, that like gravel and bikepacking is like it's a really thin line between the both. If you put in a night's sleep, it's called bikepacking. And if you leave the night's sleep at home, it's called riding gravel or mud in your case.
Yeah.
And I think I like on those day rides that I do, I always, well, let's back off a little 1 second. If you're a typical Dutch road rider, it's really normal to stop at a cafe along the ride, even though if you're like if speeding, you know, you're like a real pro racer, lycra, you know, tight fit, going for the records, you'd still be stopping at a cafe halfway mid your ride to get a classic Dutch combination of a cup of coffee and apple pie.
Oh,
no, apple pie. No, it's a classic one. Stroopwafel could be stroopwafel. Yeah, that's also good. That's something you could bring.
Apple pie mid-ride. That sounds amazing.
That's what we do.
With custard or cream, or just on
with little cream. You could, you know, take it or leave it. That's personal. But basically, I think I already did it when I was a pure roadie back in the days, and I just took that to gravel. Of course, I took it to gravel because gravel is all about party pacing and, you know, slowing down and enjoying nature. And so I think there are a couple of places that I know, like, you know, you exit the forest here or there, you just know that little town over here, they have the best ice cream. But this is the town over here that has the little bike-friendly cafe. So I like to stop at these places and do a little support your locals and get that coffee or get that cola or get that apple pie or whatever, or ice cream. But you can't at the moment because they're all locked up and locked down. And then it's I don't know, it's so easy to just, you know, take that bikepacking thing that we already know, just strap that bag on the bike and yeah, in like, how do you say, like, combine the best of both worlds and go for that stop, but then not at a cafe, but maybe even a better place like nature.
How would you define day packing?
How would I define it? Well, technically speaking, and that's probably where I got the name from as well, is it's like bike packing, but then without sleeping. So it's
like a whole bag setup and
basically, yeah, because especially these days you're gonna have to bring your down jacket as well, and maybe even if it's really frisk, you're gonna bring, I don't know, some down pants if you have, or some technical stuff, you know, like whatever, you know, make yourself comfortable. And so how would I define it? I would say by going on a bikepacking day trip So without all the mats and biffy bags and, I don't know, hanging mats or whatever you like to bring on a bikepacking trip for overnighting. And then basically you can still bring anything you'd want. Last weekend I did 2 rides, and one ride had a coffee and a soup moment.
Wow.
Because it was a long day on the saddle, and I just knew, like, this is you're gonna have to eat anyway. And you can, what are you gonna do? You're gonna snack flapjacks the whole ride, and it's fine. But at a certain point, it's gonna be a lot of the same. So you could also do this typical Dutch thing, and that's just, take a little brown bread and put a plaque of cheese on it and take that with you. That's also fine. You could stop anywhere you want and just get it out of your back pocket. Probably fits in the back pocket. But I'd like to, I don't know, party pace a little bit more, and then bring that bag, put in the soup, put in a little, burner and a little pot, and yeah, if you're bringing a pot and a burner, you could also make some coffee anyways. But then also, like the second ride I did, I just made some coffee. So I brought the same setup, little burner, little pot. I got a lot of backlash on the remark I made that I used instant coffee, which I do because
Is
it's
that
so
like powdered instant coffee?
Yeah, like
or
just
like
like
the granules.
the dry powder. Like you just pour water on it, and I think it is coffee. It's just
There's
like
so much snobbery and cycling to with coffee. I love it.
I made this remark. It's like the same with beer. The beer has I have a lot of different beers, and you have some really, really good beers. I also have some really shitty beers out there. But I think 50% or something of what defines a good beer, besides the taste, is also the moment that you drink it in. I mean, I could have a really shitty beer at the end of a perfect ride beside a campfire, and it would be probably one of the better beers I can have. Unless you're in that moment, I mean, who are you to blame for drinking shitty beer or shitty coffee for that case? Because I could drink an instant coffee in a beautiful spot in middle of nature at a sunrise. And someone else would probably have some Italian grind going on, with a perfect setup at home. But I'd still be winning because I'm out there and you're in there. And so, but I got a lot of backlash, and I thought, okay. So challenge yourself, Erwin. I have this little, like filter holder.
360 type thing, yeah.
Yeah, and so I brought that on the second ride, and I took some grind from home, like genuinely good coffee, and I must say it was a lot better.
What a surprise.
Sure.
We have this saying in the UK, I don't know if it translates, but it's hunger is the greatest sauce. So if you're hungry, anything will taste amazing.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I guess if you're like cold and outside and really need a drink, it doesn't matter if it's instant. It'll be great.
I think whatever fits your bag. I mean, I don't have those semi-small bikepacking frame bags. Those half bags. I don't have that, so I'm gonna have to get myself one of these, because I think those would be perfect for day packing. Just to put in like a tiny gas can, tiny burner, a pot maybe difficult. But I'm a dangler, so that's not a problem. I just dangle that thing somewhere.
Let's not go there.
I dangle mugs, I dangle pots, I dangle anything. Well, you're not the only one giving me some heat on that one.
Good.
I got Bas Schotgans here in the Netherlands, and he I think he called them poo catchers. So
what are your top ingredients for a day packing trip? Like what do you actually take with you?
Okay, cool. So down jacket when it's cold. I don't know if I bring it in summer, but I bring it on most of the rides. You just want to stay warm, and sweat cools you down. So a little gas can, a little burner, little pot. If you're bringing soup, I have this little it's not plastic, it's like a rubberish pot.
Like a silicone,
Silicone, yeah, exactly. A silicone pot that you can make small, and I also have these little bowls, made out of the same material, so you can just take a bowl as well, or you can just scoop.
Do you have a soup spoon?
I have a spork. You call it a spork?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So I have a spork, and I just, you can take it. You can eat straight out of the pan if you're eating soup. You could also eat out of a little bowl if you or with multiple persons. I don't know, it's probably from there on, it depends on what you want to bring or eat, bring to the table yourself. I always bring my little cup because, it's nice to make a cup of coffee. And then basically you can make it as fancy as you want. I'm not a good chef or something. When we were bikepacking last August, me and my mate Bas, and basically we just, and German kitchen isn't that great, maybe. So I mean, it's basic, it's basic stuff. So we had a lot of white pasta and just sauce, and then we thought, maybe some meatballs or something, really basic. But they don't even sell meatballs in German supermarkets, so we would eat I think like those sausages, and just cut them up and put them in this pasta with tomato sauce. And it wasn't even a bolognese, it was just tomato sauce. And I think we ate some shit food. And that says a lot about who I am as a chef, also at home.
I think I'm the same.
But I also know this guy's called Bikepacking Chef on Instagram, and he's like one of these people that he knows exactly to bring. I think when you ask him what to bring on a bikepacking or day packing, he'd probably bring 5-6 little sacks of herbs and little spices and stuff, and he knows to make something great out of nothing. So probably depends on your cooking skills or your kitchen skills in general.
It sounds like Steph from Pania. Like, I did a trip with him this summer where he cooked up a risotto for 5 of us in the evening, and he had like everything from scratch: risotto rice, onions, even white wine to put in it. He had a tiny little parmesan grater.
What the fuck? Yeah, exactly. But it's the same thing, I think, with even as basic as coffee. We were talking like instant versus, I don't know, as well, there's like tons of tiny bikepacking size, even grinders that you can bring in. So you can bring some fresh beans and grind them on the spot, and whole coffee systems. You can, bring coffee pots if you want, or just, I'm a pour on kind of guy. But you can go in every direction you want because it's all out there. All these tiny, magnificent bikepacking tools. So you can make it as fancy as you want.
Basically. Or if you don't have the stuff, you can literally just take a spoon and your normal coffee making kit from home, because it's not going to weigh you down that much. You're not going so far.
No, exactly. So, and of course I'm bringing a bikepacking bag, but I think, a lot of gravel riders are riding with these bar bags that are quite sizable as well. I think if you were just to go for a coffee, and you don't have a big, like too big gas can, you can, and a little burner, I think you can squish it in. You don't even have to dangle the mug if you can, you don't have to. I'm gonna, but you'd probably fit it all in anyway. And
or even just a backpack or something. It's not going to weigh you down that much. Like if you don't
exactly.
need to have all the stuff.
It's actually so easy. The same with day packing. A few ingredients, you can just go out and have a fucking great adventure. And and especially when you bring soup or something like that. I mean, that's a meal. You can bring some bread, dip it in the soup and stuff, and you'd be out for a long day on a bike, and still have a good dinner, even if restaurants are closed due to COVID or something like that.
We'll have to do an exchange. You can come here and we'll show you Wales, probably, because that's close by, and also in May. And then I'll come over and you can show me the Veluwe.
Yeah, it's a Veluwe. Yeah, Veluwe. Yeah, it's there's no English word for it. It's just Veluwe. I don't know, man. It's a Dutch word. Exactly. Yeah.